Canon 550D, shooting at full HD, 25 frames per second. Spinning the wheel now. Spin the wheel. This is a 55mm kit lens, 18 to 55mm zoom range, so I'm at the full zoom, set on manual focus. Just going to pull focus to the car handle. Other way. There we are, got to pull focus there. It's only a 55mm lens, well out of focus both. Focus on the spokes. Focus. Still Canon 550D, but this time at full HD, 24 frames per second. Just noticed I had that facility. Just going to spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. And I'll pull focus now. There you go. Still the same kit lens. Final one with the 550D Canon. This time at 1280 by 760, I think it is. I noticed this was available and it's got 50 frames per second this time, so spinning the wheel. And then pulling focus onto the handle of the car. And that's your lot. Panasonic SD90, 50 frames per second, progressive. Turning the...
Even when this evidence is here, there's still like a... but this is we're not in for a season battle of Verstappen versus Alonso.
Now we're going to pull focus to the car handle.
You agree with what you're used to. We're used to seeing Red Bull and Mercedes, be it and Ferrari, just be the dominant six.
Pull back.
So when somebody else develops something that is as good as them, it's very hard to accept. You want to hedge your bets with something that you know. The unknown is a scary option to choose. Anybody, so Perez might be able to get in ahead of the Mercedes here. Those Mercedes lap times are okay as well. 5 minutes to go in the session. Perez into the final corner. On the power. Out towards the line. Where's this going to slot? The Red Bull driver. Third. 1/10 of a second away from Fernando Alonso. But none of this is true, right? Because
Canon G30 AVC HD, 50 frames per second, spinning the wheel.
I wish I could rock a nose stud, and I would try, but I think
And now
I'd probably get in trouble. My parents would probably tell me off.
we'll pull focus
I'd love to have the style
to the car handle in the background.
I had to take them out because they just didn't suit me.
Oh really? What, all up in the air?
They're not up high, just on the lube.
Oh.
But yeah, so he's
On the
got
Sebastian.
Yeah, I love that. That's very good WRC chat. Just dropping it in there for everyone. Just on that injury thing as well, I was thinking, you know, Marc Marquez, let's go.
AVC HD Canon G30, 25 frames per second. Start spinning the wheel now.
Who looked like he was struggling a little yesterday, but he's quicker than Norris so far today by 0.3 of a second. The full order
Now pulling focus to the
on a set of soft tyres here in the Alfa Romeo. He's about to come
Car
through
handle.
the middle sector split, and compared to Fernando Alonso, he's just 100th down on Fernando Alonso. There were a few people saying watch out for Alfa Romeo, that they could be fighting right at the front of the midfield. Too much understeer. Gasly's got too much understeer.
This is the Canon G30. What we're going to do is spin the bike wheel. We're running at 50 frames per second, and then I'm going to go to focus on the car handle in the background. So it's a pull focus. Spinning the wheel now.
Sort of then try and think of it in terms of road car, and I broke my wrist about 10 years ago, and I remember people saying, don't drive.
It was a cycling accident.
It was actually. I broke my skateboard.
Not spinning it particularly fast.
So I was put in a cast. So, okay, that's a bit of a different
Doing
thing.
the pull focus.
I'll say don't drive, because if you have a collision, your insurance won't cover it. Okay, we're talking about Formula 1, but there is a bit of a question in
I'm
terms
going
of
the wrong way there.
impacting someone else's race if you aren't able to get out of a sticky spot. And also, Andrew, I know he managed it in 2, but you only get one shot at getting out of a car if it's on fire.
Yeah, so a couple
That's
of
the pull
interesting things
focus.
there, and I think there's really good questions. I actually broke my skateboard as well on a
XF 400,
in the pit lane, yeah.
50 frames per second, UHD,
An issue off the line.
and a manual spin and then manual focus down to the car handle.
On that practice start. Andrew Benson, what is there to say? Is this? We're just getting a replay of Max Verstappen. Listen to this. Yeah, went into anti-stall. Verstappen managed to get it going again, but if that had been the start of the Grand Prix, he'd been right down in the back. What do we think the top 5 covered by 0.2 of a second in qualifying is representative?
Well, usually, again, it's like, what I was saying at the start of the session, if this was a normal Grand Prix weekend, the final runs in final practice are normally when the teams get closest to qualifying trim. They always leave something uncovered at that point. You're not necessarily running your engine at its maximum performance. You might be running a bit more fuel in one car than another team is running in their car, so you can't be absolutely sure. But usually this is after Friday, even in the qualifying simulations. Then this is usually the closest representation of what to expect from qualifying. This is not to say that the qualifying order.
Canon XF 400, 25 frames per second, full HD. Currently focused on the spokes of the wheel. Going to turn those now. Now going to do a pull focus up to the car handle. Which is in focus now. Spin the wheel. And pull out on focus. Now. Spinning the wheel. Pull back to show my setup. Rate of interest, I'll spin the wheel again. Examples of pulling focus. Sharp in the foreground on a polythene bag. Sharp on the top of the chimney. Sharp on the leaves behind. Going through them again. Sharp on the chimney. Sharp on the poly bag. All done by just pressing on the screen where you wanted it. We'll go straight through from the poly bag to the leaves. There you have it. Try the top of the chimney. And now the poly bag again. Poly bag is at 0.3 of a metre. The chimney is at 2.6 metres. And the bush is at 6.9 metres. Interesting. Closing off now.